Did the partnership between Saerbeck and Morris begin?
It began more than 5 years ago right now, when there was a delegation from Minnesota coming to Saerbeck. And so we got in contact with the University of Minnesota, and the University of Minnesota re-invited us to just come to Minnesota. And that's what Mayor Rose and I did these 5 years ago. And along our first visit in Minnesota, we visited a very, very small town in western Minnesota called Morris. That's how we got in contact with Morris.
From your perspective, how does Morris compare to Saerbeck as well as other cities?
There's many things we have in common together, let's say. We are a very small city. Saerbeck is about 70 to 100 inhabitants. As far as I now know, Morris is about 54, 5300 inhabitants. We are a rural region in Saerbeck, so farming is very important, as it is here in Morris. We are working together with the University of Applied Science, which is not located in Saerbeck, but in the region. And there's a campus of the U of M in Morris. So there are many things we have in common.
What obstacles have you had to overcome since you started the push for renewable energy?
No big problems, let's
Nothing?
say. No big problems, because let's say it was very important for our project just to bring in as many people as possible. So we made the people of Saerbeck become investors of our wind turbines, not only wind turbines but solar arrays as well. So we offered the people to become part of the project, and I think this is maybe the most important reason why we got such a high level of acceptance of renewables, because we brought people in as investors.
Do you want to talk a little bit of how you came to get into this position?
I'm an urban planner, and at that time we were asked by the German government to think about what to do with an ammunition camp located in a small city in western Germany called Saerbeck. So we went there, working together with the city, and that's how we got in contact with the city. And at that time the city was thinking about taking part in a competition of our state, North Rhine-Westphalia, and at that moment the state was looking for a kind of pilot or model community for renewable energies in our state. And then the mayor asked, would you be part of our team to take part in this competition? So I came into this thing of Saerbeck. We came out working on a so-called climate adaptation and climate protection concept, and I worked on this concept very intensively for a short period of time, and we won the competition. And since 2009 we are a pilot and model community for climate protection on a local level in our state. And when I came back to Saerbeck at that time, Mayor Rose asked me, okay, this was part of your ideas, why won't you bring them to reality? And I said, yes, I want to bring them to reality. That's how I came to Saerbeck, and I'm working on this project since 2008 right now.
Would you do anything differently?
No.
No?
No. You can always do better, but and when we started the project, there was no kind of example throughout Germany or best practice or blueprint. So, but we were convinced that it's the right way to go this direction. And I think, I don't know, I think we did well.
So in Germany, they're a lot more conscious of how much energy that they're using as a community, as an individual. Do you think that it would be helpful for this campus and this community to understand how much electricity that they use on a daily basis?
Sure. That's the beginning of understanding what is energy and how is this energy used for. And this is even the beginning point of thinking about, have we enough energy? Are we using too much energy? Because we found out in Saerbeck, doing some renewable projects in the city of Saerbeck, saving energy is saving costs, which is very important. And I think this is a very, very big message, which is a concern to everybody, because everybody uses energy.
What are your plans moving forward for Saerbeck?
Okay, last 10 years we started putting up several renewable installations in Saerbeck. Actually, we are producing 4 times more renewable energy than we need in the city. But this was, let's say, only electric power. And now we are thinking how to replace fossil fuels in the heating of our private buildings, farming facilities and business companies. We are thinking about increasing energy efficiency of our buildings because we want to save, once again, energy, which is saving money. And we are even thinking about changing our, let's say, mobility as far as we can, from fossil fuels to electric vehicles, or we're even just right now working on a hydrogen project, trying to find out if we can use fuel cells for cars, and if we can't use this energy we produce in the bioenergy park, which we don't need, to make hydrogen of it by cracking water into oxygen and hydrogen. And this is new opportunities we didn't expect to come out with when we started the project. So we did a lot of things in the last 10 years, but this is not the end. We have still lots of things to do till 2030 where we want to end.
After looking at Morris, what steps do you think that the community should take next?
We spoke about this during the week. I spent here in Morris a lot, and I think maybe 2 or 3 things are very important in my mind as far as I know the project. One is showing that things are going on with the Morris model, which means maybe putting PV on the roofs of public buildings, not only on campus, but downtown Morris has to see something, has to see and verify, oh, what's going on, what's the Morris model. Very important. Along this week we had several meetings with several people here in Morris, and I think it's once again very important to think how to get more and more people involved in this Morris model, to think about that they are part of the problem, if you want. They are using energy, but they are also able to be part of the solution.
What are some steps that an individual can do?
Just start thinking about the energy use. Then maybe the question of how efficient is my house, how good are my windows, my doors, because I'm heating up my house and the heat is going through my window and my door. This is another thing. Which start thinking about also how to deal with waste. When the Morris model goal, one of these 3 big goals is saying we want to avoid waste because we want to avoid landfilling anymore. So the question is, this is the task for everybody.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I hope that this partnership with Morris will last as long as possible. I like to be here every time, like the Saerbeck people do as well, and it's very, very comfortable and nice to be here in Morris and to work together with people here in Morris.